So I'm very excited to present Dr. Gray here to come and talk to us a little bit. We thought we'd have him speak for about 20 minutes or so, and then if you have some questions, he has some answers for you. We kind of do that for a little bit. So thank you very much.
What better could I spend my time doing than to help secure the future of, in a sense, America? I mean, what I do see is people a lot of times after they've encountered poor diets, a lot of injuries, trauma, so forth and so on, but we are in a place now in history where we can take a preventative stance, and that's inspiring. And we can do that through food if we understand why it's important. We're going into springtime, so let's start there. What comes to mind when we think of springtime?
Outside.
Outside, rebirth, regeneration. The body is structured to obey nature. What we've done is we've forgotten about these connections, and I think at the end of the day what we'd like to do is kind of come back to these connections. Springtime is when everything, all of nature is awakening again. It's time to go back outside, it's time to grow, it's time to consume live foods and things like that, because prior to spring, a lot of times we consume things that have been preserved because the winter doesn't offer much. Now we have Publix and we have, genetically modified things and things that grow, in unusual times. But springtime is when we can actually go to a farmer's market again and get, fresh produce. Now, the organ that pertains to springtime, and yes, there are organs that have certain connections to seasons, is the liver. We learned this in traditional Chinese medicine, but this is not only Chinese medicine, it's all ancient or old cultures have these sort of, Ayurvedic from India, you have a lot of different offshoots of medicine, which is just developing over thousands of years. And what they do, they figured out that the body, the human body, is patterned after the earth. The liver is very important in the springtime, and so we should nourish it. And how do we do that? The foods that pertain to liver are red and orange root vegetables and dark leafy greens. And what's a red root vegetable? Beautiful. What's an orange root vegetable? Carrots. There are some of us which these vegetables, carrots, beets, spinach, kale, they're on the dinner table, they're around the house, they're displayed constantly, so they become part of your child's psyche. It's normal. It's normal to see it. It's not something foreign. And there's some that's not easily accessible, so then it is foreign. So our job together will be to start integrating these things a little bit more and more. Not pressuring, but just exposing in creative, beautiful, attractive ways. There is a connection between food and well-being. And our job, hopefully, with you will be to merge these sort of curative natures of food in a creative and beautiful way. Liver is, again, important for eyes. The opening to the liver is the eyes. It manages joints. It manages emotional issues. So a child that might get angry a lot may not be getting enough liver-nourishing foods. You can't kill the willpower of a child. They're young, they're strong, and you want that to thrive, but you've got to figure out how to meet them halfway. And you've got to be sensitive to what they need and get it to them in some way, shape, or form.
For an active child, I have an 11-year-old. At this stage, he eats the same thing, for example, for breakfast every morning. A hard-boiled egg, half a bagel, fruit, juice. At that age, do children need to worry about cholesterol? If they're active, he's active every day, he swims. Is that the age where you're saying, well, as adults, we've learned that maybe eating eggs 5 times a week is not good for you? Or do you let kids go and, and I'm happy with what he does. He's actually a pretty healthy eater, but, my question is, do you let it go with that kind of eating, or from what we're learning as adults now, are we supposed to go back at that age, like you're saying, early intervention is better, but is that a concern without trying to get your kids obsessed about what they're eating?
That's such a perfect question, because yes, it is a concern. And that is not getting the other things, the other things that kill the free radicals, that bring oxygen and help cellular growth and help cleansing and detoxification. That's the problem, is not getting that balance. So if you don't teach them early to get that balance, then that's the problem. So in the morning, too, you know, getting such heavy protein, they're going to get sluggish and then they're going to crave sugars by afternoon. That's getting a little bit complicated, but that's the reality. That's why when 12 o'clock hits, they're craving candy and they're wanting, you know, chocolate or whatever. Stuff you don't know about, and then they get that dip, and then they come home and they're exhausted, or the sports is not doing as well as they could. It's like, it's a constant. So what we want to do is switch it up a little bit. Yeah, the eggs are great. You know, my kids love the hard-boiled eggs every once, but you know what? Today, kids, you have to have the cream of wheat. I'll put honey in it, put some blueberries. They have the oatmeal with the walnuts, which also, walnuts, good for the brain, good for the kidneys. Raisins, you know, and then you have the honey and the cinnamon and nutmeg, which aid the digestion. Way more energy, much stronger muscle tone, and they're going to learn that their body is going to know, once it knows it, it's going to develop cellular memory, and then it's going to crave it when it needs it. If you don't introduce enough when they're young, they're not going to know better as they get older, because they're not going to have that memory. And they're going to have to retrain themselves, and it becomes drastic.
Balance is the key to everything.
Balance is the key to everything. It's not good or bad. It's all beautiful. It's all good at